Hello everybody and welcome to Digital Literacy. So this video is just going to kind of be an overview of the course, an introduction, and kind of a Canvas overview. So hopefully you have used Canvas before if you're taking a 300 level class, but just in case you haven't, this should be your home page as soon as you get into the class. It's got information about the class, where to start, all of that good stuff. Over here on To Do is going to be your upcoming assignments and when they're due. The best way to navigate this class is to go to modules. There's always the online learning at Jack State if you're interested in looking at that. Especially if you've never taken an online course before, that's a great place to start. Next is going to be about this course. So course welcome is going to be this video. So hopefully you've made it this far. There's going to be about me if you're interested in reading that. The brief gist is I got my BFA in photography from Jacksonville State. I actually took this class as a student. It was a little bit different back then because it was for art majors. So we were working with the creative suite. This is not. I got my MA in art history from the University of Alabama. I also work at a library as well as teach at JSU. During videos for this class, if I'm the one recording them, you may hear my cats or my child in the background, so I do introduce them a little bit in that section. So if you're interested in looking at that, you can. Next, we're going to talk about our syllabus. So digital literacy is geared for non-art majors. That doesn't mean that you can't take this class if you're an art major. You can, but don't expect it to be geared towards fine art creation. This is more of an introduction. We're going to cover Figma is going to be our main software that we use. We're sort of looking at the basics, the introduction to format and dissemination, different forms of media, things like that. So my office hours, I don't have an office on JSU. I only teach online. So I do meet via Teams. My office hours are Wednesdays 1 to 7. I am terrible about forgetting to actually log into Teams when I'm on office hours. So the best way to reach me if you need me is to just send me an email. If you need to meet face-to-face, like talk via Teams, it's best to set up an appointment, even if it is during office hours. Just send me an email. We'll set it up. I'll send you a Teams link, and we'll get that going. Most things can be answered via a written email. Sometimes, in case we can't find a time to meet, what I've done before is if you tell me what you need explaining, I can send you a video of me explaining it better, or like a walkthrough, more personalized. We can do things that way. I typically respond to emails within 24 to 48 hours. The exception to that is kind of the weekend. If you haven't heard from me within 48 hours, send me another email. Sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. And it might have came to me, but it didn't actually come to me, kind of thing. It gets stuck in spam or just other places in the email. If I'm going to be not available, I'll try to let you know. If you need help with an assignment, it is best to not wait until the assignment deadline. Email me as soon as possible. For these assignments, don't wait if you need help. I may not be able to, if you message me, if you send me an email an hour before the due date or the deadline, I'm not going to be able to help you. So email me as soon as you can. For this class, we have A through F standard alphabetical percentage grades. For our assignment deadlines, we do have kind of rigid deadlines. I do offer 10% or late work. I will take I will take late work, but it will be deducted 10% for every day that it's late. So after 10 days, you get an automatic 0. If you have an excuse, if you have a doctor's excuse, if your house catches on fire, if you've been in a car accident, any of those things, send me an email as soon as you can. If you think about it in the moment, if something happens, try to get some kind of evidence. Just in case it ever comes into question, I do try to have evidence before I can give you an extension. So if you have a car accident, take pictures of your car. That works. Just any kind of evidence you can think of. Just so I'll have that in case it comes into question. Things like vacations or if your computer messes up, if your internet doesn't work, things like that do not count. Do not justify you for an extension. This is an online class. You are going to know your due dates in advance. So, that being said, make sure you start working on assignments as soon as they're available, as soon as you can. Don't wait until right at the deadline. If your internet goes out an hour before the assignment's due and you just started working on it, that's not an excuse. Try to have a backup plan. So if your computer breaks, you know you're taking online classes, make sure you have some kind of backup, somewhere you can go, another computer you can use. If you're on campus, there are computer labs all over campus. Campus has free Wi-Fi. Other places in Jacksonville have free Wi-Fi just in case something crazy happens and campus's Wi-Fi goes out. Granted, if campus's Wi-Fi goes out, I'm probably going to give everybody an extension because what are the chances? But try to have a backup. If you're not on campus, most public libraries have free Wi-Fi and free computers that you can use. Try to have a friend available that you can borrow their computer. You can also get the Canvas app on your phone. A lot of the assignments you're going to be able to do for this class, you're not going to be able to do that way. But it is an option. Another thing I recommend is you have access to the Microsoft suite. So that means you have cloud storage with Microsoft that JSU provides for you. When you're working on an assignment, save it onto the cloud. That way, if something does happen to your computer, you can still access it. You haven't lost everything you've already worked on. So keep that stuff on the cloud so you can access it from anywhere and whatever device. You don't lose everything if something happens. We kind of already talked about this a little bit. Required technology. You have to have the internet. These are sort of links to things in case you need help. I have found that Firefox works best for Canvas. You can try to use Google Chrome. You can try to use whatever other browser you want. But if something's not loading correctly or not functioning properly, try to use Firefox. That'll probably fix it. I've been using Canvas and Blackboard for over 12 years now, and Firefox just works the best. We do have required supplies that I spelled wrong. Of course, this is an online class. You're going to need a computer. Figma, which we're going to talk about a little bit more here in just a second about how to set that up. You can get a free education account. You're going to need something to write or draw on. So sketchbook, an iPad that you can draw on. You'll also need something that you can take pictures of your sketches that you make. If you have a scanner that you can scan it to your computer, you can take a picture with your phone, any of that works. This is sort of the communication policy about what you can expect. Don't be rude to people online. If you have issues with course content, let me know as soon as possible. The problem with online classes is we don't meet in person. I'm not going to see you face to face. So I'm not going to see a confused look on your face. I'm not going to know that you're struggling usually until it's too late. So as soon as you think you might be struggling, as soon as you realize you have a problem, let me know. The best way to succeed in this class is by communicating with me if you have any questions or problems or issues as soon as possible. Academic misconduct and plagiarism. It's going to be very difficult to plagiarize in this course, but should you find a way, I usually give one opportunity. After that, you'll get zeros on the assignments and it'll be reported to the university. I've only ever had to do it once, but I don't ever want to have to do it again. It's a lot of work for me, and it's really sucks for y'all as students to put in the pay the money, spend the time, and then have demerits against you. And after so many, they'll kick you out. So just don't plagiarize. That includes AI. So don't use any kind of AI in this class unless an assignment specifies that you can. I don't think any of these do for this course. So just stay away from AI. Do your own work. If I do catch that you're using AI, it will be an automatic 0. If I catch it again, it'll be a report to the university. So this section actually comes straight from the student handbook. So you've already agreed saying that you will not do these things. So keep that in mind going forward. If you need help on campus, sort of this part of the syllabus is resources. So the Student Success Center, the campus resources for writing, disability services. If you have accommodations, send those to me as soon as you can. So that way we can get all of that worked out. If you're military, we can do that. There's resources for you. This is the Title IX statement, basically saying, I'm not going to discriminate. I cannot see you. This is an online class. So there's not much discrimination that can happen anyway. But counseling resources, if you need help with anything mentally, the load of college can be tough. So this is there to help you. This link doesn't work. I don't have the course schedule and module checklist up yet. So just so we're all on the same page about this, classes start January the 7th. I learned that I was going to be teaching this class January the 5th, and I got access to all of the things I needed to teach this class in the afternoon on January the 6th. So I'm actually recording this video at 1:30 in the morning on January the 7th. So, that being said, when we go to modules, you will see that not all of your course content is up yet. It's just enough to get you started. As soon as I get everything else worked out, I will have that course schedule up for you to access and have readily available for you. The things that you need right away. This is your introduction to Figma, which is going to be our main software that we use. So this is going to teach you how to use it, how to set up your account, all of that good stuff. So do that as soon as possible. I know that this is in front of this and this is due first, but all of your assignments will be under this assignment thing, or assignment tab. This is the very first thing you need to do, this introduction card. So after you read the stuff on Intro to Figma, then go here to do the introduction card. That is going to be your enrollment verification. So it's due Sunday. Get that done as soon as you can. That's how I verify your enrollment. So if you have financial aid, it's very important that I verify your enrollment. So the sooner you do that, the better. And there's information on how to export it. Then due the following week is going to be the design basics. So those are going to be your first 2 assignments. And you will have more assignments up soon. Hopefully by next week, I'll have everything set up and figured out. So that is it for right now. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. You can send me an email. I'm more than happy to help you with anything in this class. You just have to let me know that you're struggling or that you need help or that you have questions. Oh, one more thing. When you access your grades, they're here. You can access the syllabus here. All of this stuff on the side. A lot of this stuff you don't really need. But just in case, it's there. But grades is important. That's how you can keep up with your grades. Okay, so that's it. I look forward to learning with all of you this semester and teaching you all this semester. And that's it for our introduction.